Hey folks, I just got told by the man that some of us are parked in the fire lane out on the other side of the stadium, closest to the stadium, so like right in front of the food service area. If you're parked there, you're gonna have to move your car. If you're parked across the alleyway, you're okay, but if you're parked on this side of the alleyway, you're gonna have to go move your car. Remember, I told you jokes earlier, so don't be mad at me.
What? Gilmore's actually Why though?
I just like the stripe on the right. Does the thing where when you let it go, moves it back a little bit.
I'm just pointing at them.
Yeah. And I've got these up here. So say like, when they go, they're going to go. So you're going to go for like over by the pit area. And then maybe.
Could you please stand for the entrance of the class of 2019? Class of 2019, you may be seated. Good evening. I am Scott Sifferman, Athletic Director at Sultan High School and Assistant Principal at Gold Bar Elementary. On behalf of our Superintendent, Board of Directors, Administration, staff, I'd like to welcome all the friends, family, community members as we celebrate the commencement of the Class of 2019. I'd like to thank the gentlemen right in front of me right now, because your friends and family who cannot be here, you can let them know that tonight's graduation is, all of the ceremonies are being streamed live by TurkPride.tv, which is powered by our Sultan High School Tech Club, led by Mr. Moon. And also for everybody in attendance, in the unlikely event that we have to evacuate the stadium, you will be directed to exit via 8th Street. 4 years ago, I remember seeing a freshman student come to Sultan High School, quiet, but with a lot of determination. She began to make a difference at the school from the beginning and continued to be a great leader, encouraging others to grow as well. She challenged herself and made everything around her better. And next year, she will make a difference at Central Washington University. Go Wildcats. Please welcome the president of the class of 2019, Angelica Yang.
Hello and good evening, parents, teachers, and the class of 2019. You're all here today to celebrate all of our great accomplishments that have happened the last 4 years. My name is Andrea Yang, your senior class president. I am so honored to be speaking in front of you all today. I've honestly put up writing this speech until the very last moment. It isn't because I'm gonna pee my pants anytime soon, or because I don't know how to speak in front of an audience, but rather I can't believe that today is the day that we will have to say goodbye to our years spent here at Sultan High School. This class is something different. Some of us have grown up with the same people, while some of us have not. For example, Austin Wieneman from Montana. Yeehaw! Fortunately, we're all able to mingle our way into each other's lives and create unforgettable memories. Whether that be from Jack Hamilton stealing Carly Allen's car, or being pulled over to find out JoJo Thornton's car tags were 2 years old. My first day of high school was a complete blur. I don't remember anything personally. It's like it never happened. But over the years, I've grown many different relationships with my peers and teachers. For example, when Mr. Murphy told me to buy over 500 chicken nuggets for an assembly. As a class, I think we all can agree they've had our cries of joy, and of course, our cries for no reason. Carly Allen and Kaylee Alvarado. I mean, it's like they're cousins or whatever. Thank you to all my fellow officers, Blake Bernathy for being my partner in crime, Francisco Alvarado Medina to always being late to every meeting, and Gabe DeBach, who never ever showed up to our meetings. I'd also like to thank the staff here as they saw us grow into young individuals and help us shape who we are today. There are no words to describe how all of you guys have dealt with our non-stiff selves these few years, but it's been a great blessing. Especially your counselors, Miss Jean and Miss Peterson, for making sure we're even able to sit here for the next few hours in the sun to get a piece of paper. Oh yeah, I forgot, my parents, duh. I'm grateful for what you guys have done for me, especially the last 4 years. To that extent, thank you for allowing me to continue my education at Central Washington next year. You've pushed me to be the best I can be, no matter how hard-headed and stubborn I can be. But I mean, I only learned it from the best, right? Oops, didn't mean to call you out like that, but you're still praying for my college, right? As I continue to speak, the time is getting closer. We are finally almost done. I'd like to thank everyone who elected me as the president and not Emmanuel Vallejo. He told me he ran against me just for the jokes. He would have been a great delegate, of course, but not as good as me, obviously. Actually, no, I take that back. I guess it's better than me in math. I'll give him that much credit. Thank you all for all your trust in me, as I planned our senior trip together, as it was such a vacation paradise getaway. High school was only a small chapter in our lives, and we made the best of it. All of you are individually unique and have different talents and passions that the world cannot wait to see. To say that we are just a class is a lie. We are more than that. We are a family. I told myself I wouldn't be all lame and cliche, but I'm gonna say it now. Life is like a roller coaster and it has its ups and downs, but it's your choice to scream to enjoy the ride. I hope each and every one of you live your life to the fullest and take every opportunity you get. In just under 3 months, some of our lives will change and a new chapter of our lives will begin. Enough with all that boring shenanigans. Class of 2019, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
In 1919, Sultan High School had 11 graduates, 2 boys, 9 girls. One became a stenographer, another ran a mill. The rest became CEOs of their families. Tonight, we have 96 students ready to make an impact in our world. After the ceremony, please visit the grad wall that's at the entrance of the Commons to see some of the future plans of our graduates. Right now, we welcome Sultan High School's choir and varsity choir to perform the National Anthem. Please join me by standing and facing the flag at the east end of the stadium. To the ASL students that helped with that as well. This year, the class of 2019 will have 3 valedictorians, each earning a cumulative grade point average of 4.0 since the start of their high school experience. The 3 are Carly Allen, Francisco Alvarado Medina, and Nina Frame. We will be setting aside the concept of ladies first as we invite each valedictorian to share their prepared speeches. Our first speaker will also be the first in his family to attend college. He will begin his college studies at the University of Washington, go Dogs, in pursuit of becoming a doctor. Please welcome our first valedictorian, Francisco Alvarado Medina.
Wow, it's a lot scarier up here. Okay. Hey everyone, today is our high school expiration date. I am Francisco Alvarado, but most of you know me by the nickname of Fran, Franny, Cisco, Poncho, Bluefish, and many more. I was given the privilege to speak here today by Miss Whitmire, and after years of my friends ignoring my every joke, I knew for a fact that I was not going to let this opportunity go. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, prepare yourself for my 2 a.m. procrastinated to the very last day Red Bull-induced speech. Our first years here at Sultan High were like Rainbow Road and Mario Kart. We begin the race scared and confused, and many of us fall off the track like every other turn. We're the ducklings with no mama duck, not knowing our way around. You hear that there's a girl from Africa in your grade, there's a teacher mom here for all the Hispanic kids, and there's elevators. Our freshman year flies by as we seem to settle into our new home. Friends were made, teachers were met, and new websites were discovered to help with our homework. The next few years begin to notice new things, like how Miss White only wore flip-flops, how a fire alarm would go off like every week because of Mr. Monger, Mr. McMahon never laughs, and Hubbard really thought I knew how to use a box cutter. Among all of these, what amazed me the most was Senior Frame's near-perfect hair. Only second to that of Mr. Rudd's, of course. When we became juniors, we were in full comfort and knew our spots at this school. For example, how the bathroom in the shop is the best place to go number 2 in the morning, and how Miss Kelly's room has the best heater and Mr. Anderson's doesn't. As seniors, most of us come in like Mario when he gets that 1-star power and becomes a sparkling, invincible dude. We came back for our final year to end it with a bang, and now here we are, ready to graduate and finish this level on the map. Most of us went through several mental breakdowns, and I'm pretty sure all of us ended up with more than a couple of white hairs. But don't worry, my friends, because it only gets worse from here. Ha, ha, ha. Now most of us have chosen to go to a college and fulfill that freshman 15 dream we have all been waiting for. Others will get jobs and work your life away to the government. And those of you who are going to live in your parents' garage, you make sure you pimp it out for me. Thanks. I could go on and on about all the fabulous perks our school and teachers come with, but I promised my friends I would give them a fair shout out. So here we go. Blake Bernathy has been my friend since kindergarten, and he's probably the loudest dude you will ever meet. He's like the wise friend that I have that will always give me a real answer. He's the little angel on my shoulder. But then again, I always have the little devil on the other shoulder. Emmanuel Vallejo. Best buddies since preschool, the one and only man that stapled Tori's finger, and the one that put my GPA on the line several times in group projects. You two are the best friends a guy like me could have ever asked for, and I would say I'm going to miss you, but I won't since we're all going to the same college anyways. That's a rip in the chat. Also, thanks to all the other homies out in the crowd, Pedro, Chuy, Gerardo, and my girl Savannah. Now I would like to thank all the people in my life that helped me get here to where I am today. For every teacher that ever had me in your class, I want to genuinely thank you for all the efforts you put into trying to teach me and the rest of my classmates. You guys were always there for us and did everything you could to help us be successful, and now we are here because of you guys. Teachers' efforts go under the radar too often, but I want you guys to know that you guys are appreciated by every single one of us. I would also like to thank Miss Kelly for being my school mom and always giving me the best advice and tips for everything. You're up there as one of my favorite teachers, and I can't thank you enough. Next, I would like to thank my dad for always expecting the most from me. He always expected the best from me and told me that there was no reason for me to ever doubt my ability. You're my best motivator and inspiration. Mom, you're literally the kindest human being I've ever met in my life. You have always taken care of me like I was 4 my entire life, and I'm so lucky to have a mom like you. I love you guys both. Finally, I want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Unsicker. Sorry for pushing you to your breaking point. Teaching kids like us math was probably much harder than trying to organize Miss Harkins' classroom. You will be missed, bud. Also, a huge shout out to Miss Miller. You did good for your first year here. Also, congratulations to Carly Allen and Nina Frame, who really worked hard because they wanted to be up here with me today. They really are following the footsteps of a great. Congratulations to all parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, and other family members of these graduating seniors. You all did a good job raising and supporting your babies, and you should be proud today. Y para todos los latinos que están aquí hoy, quiero aprovechar que me dejaron hablar para decirles que nunca se les olvide quiénes somos, que aunque muchos de nosotros adoptamos una nueva lengua, nunca se debe de olvidar nuestras raíces latinas. Felicidades a todos y que sigan soñando, porque con trabajo y dedicación sí se puede. Congratulations, class of 2019, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very best in life.
Friend, when I got to the UW, I was looking forward to my freshman 15 also. I still haven't hit it. One day. 6 years ago, our next speaker was sitting in stands with her family at her cousin's graduation. As she listened to the valedictorian speeches given by Riley Jordan and Jennifer Stetcher, she told her mom that she was going to be giving one of those speeches one day. In the fall, she will begin studying neuroscience and may pursue a career in nursing at Texas Christian University. Go Horned Frogs. To share a speech that is 6 years in the making, please welcome our next valedictorian, Carly Allen.
Today is a day that we have been waiting for all year. Today is our day. In 2015, we walked into Sultan High School as freshmen, the people who everyone hated and tried to avoid. We still had to ask our parents to drive us everywhere, and we still looked like we belonged in the 6th grade. Fast forward 4 years, and here we are. The day that we thought would never come is finally here. Through all the blood, sweat, tears, and hours of lost sleep, we finally made it. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Before I get started, I just want to say congratulations to Francisco and Nina for earning this position as well. It was a very stressful competition, but there was no way I was going to let Fran stand up here without me. I am so proud of you two, and I can't wait to see where life takes you. Over these last 4 years, I have been so lucky to have such a strong support system. From family and friends to teachers, I am so grateful for everyone who has been there for me. I want to give a special thanks to that one bald-headed guy. And no, Dad, I'm not talking about you. I'll get to you later. Mr. Rudd, thank you for teaching me everything I need to know about the government and politics. I will never forget those 10 super important cases or that one really long document that some old guy wrote, which I definitely read, about a very important topic in the 1780s. Also, shout out to you for almost putting me into cardiac arrest with your test. You're the best. But in all honesty, I have thoroughly enjoyed being in your class this year and listening to your dad jokes. I'll admit, you're kind of funny. I also would like to thank Miss Miller for always listening to me while I have my mental breakdowns and giving me advice on what I should do. And for always yelling at Betsy, Kiana, or Kalia, but never me. I always knew I was your favorite. Lastly, I want to give a special thank you to the teacher who completely changed my life forever. 3 years ago, I didn't think I was going to choke up, but here we are. 3 years ago, I walked into your classroom not knowing what to expect. I was excited and eager to learn, but didn't know if I would be able to handle the workload. What I didn't know 3 years ago was that I would meet a teacher who cared and loved me as I were her own. Mrs. Varnell, you have made such a big impact on my life. You made me realize that I can do anything I put my mind to and nothing is too far out of reach. Every day you reminded me how proud you were of me. There were days where I just wanted to give up and throw in the towel, but your words of encouragement kept me going. You pushed me to be the best person I can be and always reminded me that no dream was too big. I am so lucky to have had you as a mentor these last 3 years. I can't wait to make you proud. Don't worry, Mom and Dad, I didn't forget about you. To the best parents a girl can ask for, thank you for always supporting me through everything and dealing with my attitudes. Without you guys, I would not be where I am today. You guys have sacrificed so much for me, and I am so grateful. Hopefully one day I'll be able to give you that vacation home that you're always talking about. If I'm being honest, probably not. I'm just trying to be cute right now. Now that we got the sappy stuff out of the way, let's talk about the fun memories we have made over the years. I will never forget the time Jack thought stealing my car was a good idea until the cops got involved and he started crying like a baby. Or that one time Betsy and I were running to the boys' soccer game and she tripped off the curb and fell hard in front of the stadium and everyone in it. You always have been a klutz. Congratulations on not tripping on your way up here, Bets. One thing I'm definitely going to miss is receiving Snapchats from E-Man asking for homework. And just in case you were wondering, my back does hurt from carrying us through that project in U.S. history. Yeah, Miss Fuller, you heard that correctly. Thank you to the class of 2019 for making these last 4 years so memorable. I am so grateful to have known every single one of you, and I am so proud. The world is ours. I wish you all nothing but the best. We finally did it. Thank you.
Brandy, I think on the first aid med kit checklist, we need to add Kleenex. I cannot begin to describe the excitement I had 4 years ago when I heard that we were getting a 3-sport transfer student from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This student got her mom's height. But what she lacks vertically, she makes up with a brilliant mind and a tenacious drive to succeed. She will be moving to Prague in the Czech Republic to attend Anglo-American University. Go Czech Mix. Please welcome our last valedictorian, Nina Frame.
There are so many routes to happiness. We all choose what to pursue in life to find happiness, normally making part of the decision sometime around this age. We decide what jobs we think will bring us happiness, how much money we'll need to buy our happiness, and who to surround ourselves with for the long run in order to bring ourselves happiness. This is a mistake. Happiness is not to be pursued. Happiness is in the pursuit. It's already and always there in your journey. You just have to see it around you instead of scanning the trail ahead. Sometimes it's hard to believe that this happiness is waiting for you to grab a hold of it, but I promise, happiness is there, even in public school. Tomorrow morning, you will not wake up happier than you did today. You will not go to bed in a different way than you did your freshman year tonight, and you will not use a different toothpaste tomorrow morning than you normally do. None of us will. You will have no more potential happiness in your life or in your journey than you did any given day during the past 3 years. Nothing has changed but the time in your life and the experience you've gained, except for our fashion choices since freshman year. That's collectively changed for the better, for sure. Braces, acne, and embarrassing hand-me-downs aside, my point is that tomorrow will not bring you any more potential happiness than any random Sunday 3 years ago could have. No matter how much less you knew about the world or how many fewer friends you had, your journey was there and the joy and its silver linings with it. Since happiness is in the journey, I like to consider today, our graduation, simply a celebration of a part of that journey. More specifically, a celebration of the happiness we found during each of our individual journeys over the last 4 years. And so, go into the world today feeling accomplished. Be proud of who you are, but know that nothing has changed except puberty. That hit hard, and that no matter how much you have to look forward to, where you are in your journey right now can be just as good. Thank you.
With 3 valedictorian speeches this evening, our salutatorian will not be giving a speech, but we want to recognize the outstanding efforts and successes as well, which will follow him when he attends the University of Washington, go Dogs, next year. Please celebrate our salutatorian, Blake Bernathy. Blake, stand up. Thank you. At this time, we'd like to have the members of the Sultan High School Choir and Varsity Choir come forward to perform For Just a Little While and Everybody Rejoice. Annually, the graduating class votes on who they want to speak, what staff member to speak at graduation. Throughout our campus, we have staff that make great connections with our students, each in a way of connecting with a different group of students. The staff member that was selected this year helps students make connections from America's past into the world that they're living in today, and is able to do so somehow in between the student social media posts. Please welcome the staff member voted to speak by the class of 2019, Miss Andrea Fuller.
I promise I will keep this short, as I have to be out of here by 7:59 to buy a Powerball ticket, because I forgot. Good evening, graduates, staff, family, and friends, or what I like to call the village, as in it took a village to get these seniors to this moment tonight. Some people refer to high school as the 4 best years of their lives. That makes me really sad, because I think those people did not have very good lives. I mean, if that's true, what are we going to do tomorrow? And while we certainly hope these last 4 years have been good for you and want to applaud the accomplishments of the class of 2019, tonight is also about celebrating what we look forward to about these seniors and what they will go on to accomplish in their jobs and in their relationships, and if we have been a good village in what they do for each other and our society to make it a better place. Having done this a time or two, I needed some fresh ideas to use throughout my speech, so I Googled funny graduation stuff. Literally, I typed in funny graduation stuff. There were a few quotes worth sharing. Number 1, graduates, real life has no remote control. Get up and change it yourself. There are no required classes in the School of Life. The entire place is an elective, so you better figure out what you want to take. You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. Well, you can, but you will fall off. Find a good soulmate, not a good cellmate. And finally, follow your passion, stay true to yourself, never follow anyone else's path. Unless you're lost in the woods and see a path, and then by all means, you should follow that. But needing more than 5 quotes I got off the internet, I asked some of our staff members for help in a simple email that basically said, describe the seniors in 1 word. So here is the class of 2019 in 19 words or less. Let me get 4 of them out of the way right away. Franny, Stretch, Blue, and Green. You see, my initial interaction with these seniors was as the 8th graders when I coached girls basketball at Sultan Middle School. There were so many actual players' names I needed to learn that I couldn't be bothered to learn the managers' names. So Franny was deemed Franny already by Mrs. Mitchell. Parker was real tall, so he became Stretch. Obed had a blue sweatshirt on that day, and Blake had a green sweatshirt on that day. So there you go, Franny, Stretch, Blue, and Green. They will confirm that those names stuck for the entirety of that season and beyond when they showed up here at Sultan High. And just for the record, Blake Bernathy wore that green sweatshirt almost every day until he changed it for his attending UW purple sweatshirt like 2 months ago. Next word is millennial. Now I know that you aren't actually considered millennials. You are Gen Z or iGen or some other stupid name. But what you are is the first graduating class, where with a very few exceptions, you are all born in this new millennium. You are the first group of people for which the word phone doesn't primarily mean talking to other people. It means playing games and finding a good pizza place and looking up something you know for a class. Y'all don't know how real the struggle used to be. People my age did not have the internet in our pants pocket. We barely had the internet not in our pants. We had to actually talk to people to be able to express our feelings with real words. You have always been able to express your feelings with an emoji. In your world, Justin Timberlake has always been a solo artist, and green ketchup has always been part of your condiment choices. Word number 6 is endings. These commencement exercises in some ways signify endings. For all of you, this is the end of having to go to school if you don't want to. From here on out, it's your choice. Thankfully, for all of us at Sultan High, it's the end of Gabe yelling, it's the end of that 5 days a week at 7:45 in the morning. For most of you, this is the end of your experience on organized sports teams, the end of your experience being in clubs, singing in choirs, marching in parades, or using Mrs. Kelly's room as your locker. And one you might not think about but is massively impactful. It is the end of needing to ask someone else if you can go to the bathroom. This is reason enough for joy every other day of your life. Another word to describe our Turks is talented. These seniors have been on the yellow brick road to Oz, in the palace for Cinderella, under the sea with the Little Mermaid, and of course this year made us all wish we had a golden ticket to the chocolate factory. They have earned scholarships in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. They are parade and festival award winners, baking master chefs, district playoff participants, and for summer, Rebecca, Angel, and Luke, cheer and state wrestling champions, which is such an amazing accomplishment. In many ways, day in and day out, these Turks have done themselves and us proud. For those for whom talented is not the first word you'd think of, fortunately a different word describes many of these students is gritty. Lots of these kids just know how to persevere. Some of our students have what I would call complicated lives and the struggles that come with that, and yet they are here tonight, having persevered. Some of our senior athletes played on teams and had seasons where they were not district caliber competitors, but they were out there every day, working hard, trying to get better, and trying to set a good example of what it means to be a Turk for younger athletes. Having coached some seasons like this, I can agree with your inner voice that thought, man, that game sucked. But I can also assure you that the grit you have inside you and the perseverance you learned in those challenging times will serve you well going forward in whatever your chosen path is. The ninth descriptive term is creative. You and your like-aged peers have created entirely new vocabularies the rest of us have to catch up on. I thought tea was a tasty beverage. Apparently it's gossip instead. I thought salty described most of the things I try to cook, but no. And I don't even know who Felicia is, but you're saying bye to her all the time. I'm guessing 'cause she be a ratchet. And I'm gonna have to throw a little shade your way, graduates, because the other word that describes you is entitled. You should lose that sense of entitlement immediately. You are not entitled to keep a job if you fail to show up every day. You are not entitled to get good grades in college because you got them here. From here on out, the world will expect you to earn whatever it is that you want. I will give you this piece of advice. Unless you are talking about your future Social Security benefits, which you are actually entitled to, you need to leave any sense of that word right here on this field tonight. In what would be a good name for your future rec league softball team, but not a good personality trait, you may also want to change the next word that several of our staff members used to describe you, and tonight you used to describe you, the procrastinators. It's like you could have been characters in an Avengers film franchise, but you didn't get your costumes figured out in time. Y'all had 4 years to get 4 things done for advisory, and yet 70% of you were on the first no-pass list. You are such high-level procrastinators that I think I'm a little bit proud, and that confuses the educator in me. I hope that one word that describes you in your future is a failure, but in a good and happy way, because failure is one of our greatest teachers. I hope that you don't fail at something important, like parenting or cooking the Thanksgiving turkey. I hope you fail at little things, that when they knock you down, you get back up better than before, that you don't repeat those failures, and therefore you grow. I used to tell soccer and basketball players, you can't score if you don't shoot. So don't be afraid to shoot and miss. Don't be afraid to fail. And I hope when you do, those failures occur naturally. Life is tough enough. I promise you, you don't need to go looking for trouble. What we can all be most proud of, perhaps, is the last word I'll use to describe the class of 19, thoughtful. Their thoughtfulness might have started as simply meeting community service hours requirements, but it did not stop there. JoJo started a homecoming and prom dress drive program. James Parcher collected more than 900 items of food for the food bank by himself. Catherine Hubbard began a book drive for kids at Children's Hospital. These are certainly not the only contributors, but they exemplify the thoughtfulness of this class. They collected food and prom dresses to exchange and winter coats to keep folks warm. They beautified the VOA, skied and snowboarded for Hope on the Slopes, made Christmas special for dozens of families with giving trees and numerous other projects to make our community a better place. You will make all of us forever proud if you continue to serve your communities throughout your life. And this is a mantle I hope you younger students in the audience can pick up and run with. It will be up to you now, seniors, to pick the words that describe you and how you choose to live your life. So please pick the good ones. In closing, I'd like to thank the class for the honor of speaking tonight, and I'll return to your creative vocabulary for a moment. I hope you thought the speech was Gucci. Now, I know you guys are emo about graduating, but your wigs are about to be snatched when you yeet your caps and skirt out of here. Again, I offer my sincere congratulations, seniors. I'm a bounce.
Thank you, Ms. Fuller. Speechless. Tonight we have a special treat. 4 years ago, when the class of 2019 arrived, it was also the first year at Sultan High School for English teacher Jason Gilmore. While Mr. Gilmore pursued a new opportunity this year, the connections he's made with seniors in this class has helped him return tonight to be with all of us. It is, in all likelihood, when he's up here speaking, he has a red flannel underneath his robe. He may not be Roy-worthy, but he is Sultan-worthy. Please welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Jason Gilmore.
Guys quite a lot last year. Well, actually this year. I was with you last year. I didn't miss you a whole lot last year. I saw quite a bit of you. I was just feeling really, really good about this speech, and then Taylor looked at what I wrote and she goes, "It's kind of short." So I'm feeling less good about that now. I turned to Miss Lynch and I told her I was feeling nervous, and you guys just gave me that, great round of applause, and she said you could poop yourself up there and they'd probably still be happy. I promise I'm not going to poop myself up here. I don't think. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jason Gilmore, and I taught English at Sultan for 3 years, from 2015 to 2018, and I had the privilege to teach most of the class of 2019, but unfortunately, I didn't get to teach all of them. That's my loss and arguably their gain. So despite that, the speech that I'm going to share with you in just a moment, I thought a lot about what it means to be a teacher and to care for your students. And even if you didn't have me as a teacher, I hope you know that one of the teachers who's here tonight, or who taught you over the course of your time here, most certainly shares the sentiments that I'm about to share with you. So this speech is also for you. I spent a long time thinking about what to say to you today. Since many of you were in my first class as freshmen, my thoughts continually return to what it felt like to be a new teacher that first year. And a lot of us come to the teaching profession with the idea that we're going to show up and start changing lives. And I know that I definitely expected that I was going to show up to class, I'd say a few inspiring things, and then you were going to be better off because I was there. Which sounds tremendously arrogant now that I think it, but if teachers are being honest, we've all thought it. You've thought it. And looking back on that thought, I have to laugh because I think your class shaped me a lot more than I shaped you. And I think that shaping comes from the memories that I have of you. So much of who I am as a teacher, and more importantly as a person, is thanks to you. For instance, all last year I was petrified to go into the halls because every time Betsy saw me, she would guard me, like basketball guard me, from one end of the school to the other, Like I'd have to tack back and forth trying to get where I was going, which took a lot of my time. And so Betsy taught me the importance of leaving for your destination early so that no matter what setbacks you face, you will always arrive on time. That same year, last year, I watched as Maddie and Travis competed over who was my best TA. What they don't realize was that Kiana was the one who was with me when the fly infestation hit our portable, and she fought in the trenches with me against the many flies. There are no more flies. She killed all of them. But Maddie and Travis would leave each other these snarky notes at the TA desk. And the best part was that they would argue all during American Lit over who was the more productive TA that day. And I don't know if they realized that they were actually being more productive because they were in competition with each other, but it really worked for me. And so together they taught me the importance of having a rival, of having someone, hopefully more than just one person in your life, who challenges you and pushes you to be your best. And still, sometimes you won't have a rival, and sometimes that drive to give it your all has to come from someplace inside you, and that's what Itzy taught me. So during Itzy's freshman year, she sort of went along with the flow, but didn't push herself too hard. She's being like all bashful right now. She's like, he's calling me out. When I had her in American Lit last year, I felt like I was meeting her all over again for the first time. She was curious, insightful, and she was engaged with everything we did, and I think the most impressive thing was that she was hungry to learn for things that we weren't studying in class. She asked me at the start of the year if I would help her learn Korean, and one of the things I'm embarrassed to admit was that I did a really shoddy job of it. I didn't give her a whole lot of help. That did not stop her. She taught herself, and she's gone on to learn a smattering of other languages, and she continues to dig deeply to get at all the world has to offer. And she showed me that when you really want something, you don't wait for somebody else to give it to you. You find that something in yourself that it takes to go get it for yourself. And you find your own way. And still, yeah, give her a round of applause. She's pretty great. Thank you so much for clapping, because I needed to take a drink and I didn't know when a good time would be. So, Itzy showed me that sometimes you need to find your own way, but there are times when the path that you find, your own way, doesn't make sense to the people in your life. And, the student who taught me how to deal with this was Kiana, whom I once lost during independent reading. The rest of my class is sitting there with their books. It's like one of those picture-perfect moments you dream of as a teacher, where all your students are doing what you want them to do, and it's like perfectly silent, and those moments never happen, so of course something went wrong, and I lost Kiana. And so I looked around the classroom, of course, and then I opened the door really, really quietly, and I peeked out the door, and I'm like, maybe she's outside, it's raining, because it's the Pacific Northwest, but maybe. And she wasn't. And then, I don't know what prompted me to do this, but I looked in the supply cabinet, and Kiana had brought a chair. This is a small supply cabinet. It's not spacious and it's not comfortable, but she put a chair in there, and she was reading through the little sliver of light that was coming through the gaps in the doors. But I don't think I've ever seen a kid so happy to read. She was just totally into this book. She was doing her thing. So I got a little flashlight and I hung it above her so she had some light so she wouldn't strain her eyes, and then I shut the door. So Kiana, like so many of you, showed me that sometimes I'm not going to understand the things that my kids do, but part of growing up is finding your own way, and if your own way leads you to read books in a cabinet, then maybe I don't need to understand, and maybe it's enough to just support you. So there's a long list of things I don't understand beyond why kids read in cabinets. On that list is art. The fact that I don't really understand art never stopped Michaela or Maggie or Haley from bringing me all of their artwork. The one thing I can say is that even if I don't understand it, I have so much words are hard, appreciation for what it takes to put a piece of yourself into a creation like you do. It is absolutely amazing that you kept coming to my classroom so enthusiastic to share something that you and you alone could create. Pretty much everything you gave me made it across the country with me. Half of it's sitting in my classroom, my new classroom, ready to get unpacked when the school year starts, and the other half is over my desk at home. And when I look at what you've made, I remember how important it is to step outside my subject and value the unique things each of you has to offer. Thinking back to freshman year, one of the moments that hit me hardest was when Michael wrote me a letter. He was in my 4th period, and I didn't really realize it at the time, but I knew his classmates a lot better. Words are so hard. I knew his classmates a lot better than I knew him. And this letter kind of came out of nowhere. Looking back, I think I overlooked him a bit. You know, like we had a lot of really big personalities in that class, and so he was, one of those kids, he kind of flew under the radar. And I'm so happy he wrote me this letter. It talked about his childhood, what it was like growing up, about his hopes and doubts and the challenges he faced. And in this letter, he told me he just wanted me to know more about him. And he showed me that what most of us want, especially when we're young, but really all throughout life, is to be known and seen by those around us. I still make mistakes, and there are still some of you I don't know as well as I should or as well as I want to. And still, Michael urged me to remember that the best part of teaching isn't academic, it's human. All of you together taught me the importance of little human moments, how they shape you without your noticing, and help you to become a better version of yourself. One of my mentors once told me that success is a matter of recognizing and taking advantage of opportunities. And I don't really like that. I think, and you've taught me, that success is a matter of recognizing what lessons the people in your life have to teach you, regardless of their age. It's about seeing the value in those around you, doing your best to understand them, and being humble enough to let them affect and change you. I know you're thrilled to be moving on, and you should be, but I hope you can find a memory from your time here, even one, but hopefully many more, to carry forward with you. Maybe it's a memory from a favorite class, perhaps of a friend or a teacher. Maybe it's serious, perhaps ridiculous, possibly profound. No matter what it is, I want you to hold it up and look for the lesson inside of it. And as you move forward, I hope you'll connect to the people around you, form memories with them, and let them change you for the better. I hope you'll share the best parts of yourself with the people who are dear to you, because that's the best gift you could give them. It's certainly the best gift I've ever been given. Thank you all for everything, and congratulations. Taylor told me I should cry, and I'm getting really close. It's gonna hit like right after this is done. This is literally the last line, but like I'm starting to get choked up. You called it. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Sultan High School provides great opportunities for students with programs like Running Start and College in the High School. Many of our graduates already have earned college credits as they're earning their high school diplomas today. Please raise your hand if you have college credits on your transcript now. The class of 2019 has one student that not only has earned college credit, but is also tonight earning her associate's degree. Please congratulate the special accomplishment of Isabel John. For the presentation of the class of 2019, I would like to introduce our principal, Sarita Whitmire-Ski, and for the acceptance of the class, the Sultan School Board Chairperson, Russ Sumter.
Class of 2019, this is what we've been waiting for, and this is what we've practiced. And like I said earlier, I'm extremely proud of every single one of you. With the class of 2019, please rise. Sultan Board of Directors and Superintendent Chaplik, it is an honor and a privilege to present to you the Sultan High School and Sky Valley Options High School class of 2019. As the principal of Sultan High School and Sky Valley Options High School, I certify that each student that walks across this stage has met all the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Sultan School District and the state of Washington.
It is my extreme honor and privilege to accept the Sultan High School class of 2019.
Class of 2019 has asked Miss Marissa Lynch to read their names as they walk across the stage to receive their diploma covers. While this is done, we know it's a special occasion for each graduate and their family. Please be respectful to all of the graduates and make sure that the celebrations for one student allow for the same opportunities for the next. Thank you.
You ready? Angelica Yang. Jolena Neela Thonkin. Carly Lynn Allen. Kaylia Marie Fajardo. Francisco Javier Alvarado Medina. Emmanuel Vallejo Munoz. Nina Triana Frame. Alexis Jane Boglivi. Blake Bernathy. Tori Lynn Mayer. Emily Jean Hankins. Isabel John. Sierra Ann St. Pierre Perales. Tristan J. Torza. Austin Allen William Wiedemann. Luke Thomas Weaver. Zachariah Titus Cisco. Angel Ivan Guzman. Gabriel Michael DeBach. Obed Theodore Cushing. Josh Ford. Kimberly Rosario Lopez Lopez. Brandon Saranil.
Michael Alexander Simon. Logan Oblinus. Andrew Jacob Strobel. Madison Hughes. Travis Maddox. Scott Motzenbacher. Basil Ulrich Jones. Bethany Diane Fulcher. Taylor Grace Fadden. Jaden Isaiah Boyd. Zachary Robert Miller. Andrew Zinter. Jason Donald Atkinson. Devin J. Judd. Austin J. Harris. Jensen Webster. Isaiah Robert Ty Phillips. Hannah Huffman. Dorian Kelly. Drake Jones. Skylar Ashton Tallick. Michaela Gail Yates. Kira Justine Wilson. Nelson Alonzo Franco Velasquez. Denise Arizaga. Rebecca May Cunningham. Ashley Cheyenne Evans. Donald Edwin Dennis. Nicholas McElvey Landis. Kiana Lee Kendall. Betsabet Herrera. Emily Mackenzie Cook. Catherine Maria Hubbard. Yadi Neftali Madrigal. Rihanna Reyna. Itzi Godinez. Catherine Grace Gallagher. Mary Gail Carbajal. Amy Renee Ballweber. Haley Steele. Silas Orion Woods. Nicholas Christensen. Noah Thielen. Summer Leanne Verhule. Taylor Marie King. Jack Robert Hamilton. Harold S. Wilkinson. Faith Corinne Kindle. Beatriz Betty Valera Gonzalez. Parker J. Catlin. Kaipo Wayne Cadena. Derek Riders. Miguel Angel Garcia. Rachel Ristine. Cindy Manriquez. Merelda Sanderlin. Abigail Snellgrove. Preston Rodney Hill Carroll. James Martin Parcher. Josh Brazeno. Marianne Doan. Jade Swindle. Jenna Nicole Baker. Sean Davis. Benjamin Munn. Miguel Bernal Morales. Freddie Daniel Martinez Altamirano. Emma Evans. Josh Boneham. Esme Mendez. Francisco Vega. William Radford. Hunter Radford.
Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, if you're a graduate of Sultan High School, please raise your hand. Look at that. We have 96 young men and women who are here to join you as Sultan alum. I would like to welcome Angie Yang to return to the stage for her last duty as senior class president.
All right, would the class of 2019 please rise? Are we ready? Yeah? All right. Please turn your tassel from right to left. Now join me on the track as we do the traditional cap toss. ready? 3, 2, 1.
You are all welcome to join us in the Commons for a reception for the class of 2019.